Record in the matter 26 CF 21, State of Wisconsin versus Mogen Kurkowski. The state appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Ms. Kurkowski appears by video conferencing, currently out of custody. I believe she is in a treatment facility. We have her counsel, Renee Landgraf, who is present here in person. We're set for the initial appearance. Ms. Landgraf, have you went over the criminal complaint with Ms. Kurkowski?
Yes, Judge, I did. We would waive a formal reading, enter a not guilty plea to count 4. That's the only misdemeanor. We would like to schedule this for a speedy preliminary hearing as long as Ms. Kurkowski can appear by Zoom. She's in a treatment facility in
She may not. If it's speedy, she must be here in person.
Okay. Given that, Ms. Kurkowski, I'd advise that we waive the time limits for a preliminary hearing so you can appear in person when you get back, because I don't want you to.
If it's not speedy, she can appear by Zoom, but if it's speedy, then she must be here in person. Because aren't you in like Texas or something?
Yeah.
She's in a treatment facility in Texas.
All right, so we can accommodate a Zoom earlier to squeeze it in, but I'm not going to accommodate a speedy without it being in person.
Okay.
What time frame will we be looking at, Your Honor?
On a Mr. Schmidt week, you'd be looking at April 20th at 2:15. Or yeah, at 2:15.
I believe she might even be out of treatment by then. Would that be okay with you if we waive the time limits but scheduled it for April 20th?
Okay.
Is that okay with you? Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
April 20th at 2:15.
Your Honor, I also filed a motion to modify.
I thought you filed a motion to modify bond, requesting that she be able to have contact with Mr. Akana, I believe.
That's correct. They were originally, I believe, arrested together, and I'm not sure if he was going to be charged as a co-defendant, but there are no charges filed against him. My client has no criminal history whatsoever. That is her significant other, and she would like to have contact with him.
How long have you and Mr. Akana been in a relationship?
Since the middle, probably July of last year, but we live in the same apartment, but since I live in housing, it's possible that I may be evicted within now that my case is filed with the court, and I was hoping that I could be in contact with him because we have to move out of our apartment soon.
Okay, all right. Mr. Schmidt, any objection to them having any contact? He was not charged. I believe you said no pros.
It's because Miss Kurkowski told law enforcement the drugs were absolutely not his, they're hers.
Okay, all right. So no objection to the contact?
I don't object to the contact.
And I believe he's still under extended supervision requirements.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will remove the no contact with Mr. Akana, okay?
Thank you.
I don't know his situation. I don't know where he is in any of those things. I'm hoping he's doing well. But you can have contact. What? He's in custody? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So then that will be removed. You're going to need to sign a new bond before that takes effect. So we're going to need to have that sent to you, or your attorney can take care of that.
Your Honor, I have an email address for her therapist at the treatment center. So if that's all right, I would email it to her for her signature, and I can e-file it when they send it back.
Totally fine.
Thank you.
That works great. So once we get that signed, then that'll take effect, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, so we'll see you April 20th, 2:15. Anything further?
Not for me.
Oh, well, not guilty plea on the misdemeanor. You set the other ones. Okay, we're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Taylor.
Did you want to take up the in custody
Well,
first?
I guess I could. I don't know who.
I have one at 2:45, so I'm
Okay.
here regardless.
Where are you, sir?
Well, just
You are
well.
Mr. Wells. On my calendar?
Your Honor, I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
it- yeah.
at 2:00. Okay, yeah. That's right, we threw them in. We'll go on the record in the matter 23 CF 62, State of Wisconsin versus Joseph Wells. This date appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Mr. Wells appears in person with counsel Joel Feliski. We're set here today in this matter for an arraignment. Mr. Feliski, were you able to go over the criminal information with Mr. Wells?
I was, Your Honor. It appears apart from the new charges to more or less mirror the criminal complaint. We'll waive formal reading to all counts, enter in a plea of not guilty. In discussion with the state, Your Honor, we are fairly close to a resolution. I'd ask for a status just because we're working out the finer details, but I think that can be put relatively quickly on the court's calendar if there's availability.
Not guilty plea will be entered on your behalf as to all of the charges. You are entitled to a jury trial. You would be entitled to a speedy trial should you request one. How quickly are you thinking?
Your Honor, in part, I would defer to the state. This just depends on communication with the victim in this matter. But I think in a ballpark of around 2 weeks.
And when is his sentencing? When are the sentencings in Minnesota?
I believe they were in April.
I believe you said April. I can't recall if it was around April.
April 16th.
That sounds right.
Okay, and what's gonna happen? Like, if he's in custody here, if we don't get him in before then, what's gonna happen with his Minnesota stuff? Is he gonna be able to appear by Zoom?
Yeah, they are by Zoom. It's the final step there.
Excellent. And I'm gonna guess, or I'm gonna ask, do you think does it look like it's a probation recommendation?
The one in Crowing will be dropped and the one in Chippewa I have to pay a $600 fine. And it'll be dropped down to a misdemeanor after that.
I can't get you in 2 weeks on a Schmidt week. It would have to be next week on a ADA week. Otherwise, it would have to be on the following ADA week. Otherwise, the first Schmidt week I have is May 4th week.
Is there a chance you could check with, we'll hear back from George before next week, right?
Usually, yeah.
We could try to shoot for next week. Basically, I made an offer, they made a counter offer. I said, if the victim is fine with it, then we'll just do that.
So what's the offer and counter offer?
Your Honor, the original offer was, just pulling this up here. It was a plea to 5 of the counts in the complaint, 5 counts, excuse me, of uttering a forgery in the complaint, stipulating to the restitution amount of $10,000.43. The original offer here was for 5 years of probation and conditional jail of 6 months as a joint agreement or free to argue with the sentence to be concurrent to Minnesota. I've made a counter proposal to the state for 3 months of conditional jail. There was also a question as to the restitution that I'd just like to get some more information on. But apart from those specific points, we are very close to an agreement here.
Sounds like you are pretty close. All right. Must be in there because they're not in the elevator. Can you knock on that, please? I can do Tuesday morning or Thursday afternoon of next week.
I think the second will work better for my calendar, Your Honor. I'm in Sawyer all day on Tuesday.
1 o'clock?
That will work.
All right, 1 o'clock. Do we need half hour? Do we need more than that? Is Dad going to make a statement?
I'm not for sure, Your Honor.
For a half hour, just in case.
That's right, please.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Then we are adjourned. March, April.
Oh, Your Honor, I apologize. I did want to clarify. Mr. Wells's bond didn't specify that he was allowed to write specifically to his father, just that he was allowed. Correct, Your Honor. The language of the bond says specifically that defendant may no contact except by telephone.
Oh, I said telephone and written. So, yeah, you'll be able to write.
Okay, yeah. That's-
Yeah, we'll make sure we make that change today. Okay?
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thursday.
Jesse James,
Next Thursday?
Yep, next Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you. very much.
Yeah, of course.